pressure fuel pump just got here. The pump is out. Oh, I'm not stupid to do that on the box, but my pump is here. My high pressure fuel pump that will allow me to run E85. So I ordered the upgraded pump from AutoTech. It has their internals, and I opted for the full assembly because I kind of wanted an extra one. So I'll keep the stock one just for in case happens and this thing fails, which I wouldn't say I expect it to fail, but it's not gonna be there for forever. So I'm keeping the stock one right now. I just got here to the shop, so I just pulled the 15 amp fuse for the fuel pump, the very top one over there. Fuse is right there, and I'm kind of letting the car cool down right now before I start disassembling the high pressure fuel pump. And yesterday I got some pure E85, VP pure E85. So it's just sitting right there, 5 gallon. After this install, we will dump that in the tank. Right now I purposely didn't fuel up. Right now I'm sitting about 1/4 tank. So, but that's all 91. So I'm gonna dump all that E85 in the tank and then fill it up with regular 91. Attempting to get as high as ethanol as I can get, because tonight we kind of have some events that we kind of need the car to go fast at. So yeah, and I kind of need to test some stuff too. So, and obviously all this mods is getting supported by Integrated Engineering's Flex Fuel Tune, and that is a free stage 2 feature, so you don't have to pay for anything, which is fantastic. So you just have to pay for the internals or the fuel pump assembly, which one you opt to, doesn't really matter. And then the harness kit, which is like about 200 bucks. So it's really not bad for being able to run E85 from 91 ranges all the way up to E85, and it's just one tune. It's not one of those flex fuel that you need to adjust your tune based on your ethanol content. So this one just adjusts on the fly, which is fantastic, which is a flex fuel, an actual flex fuel, because you don't have to it's all in one tune. It adjusts itself, which is nice. So I stuck a rag underneath the high pressure line down there that goes to the fuel rail, silver line down there, because there will be fuel coming out of there and on this line. So we disconnect this connector up here and disconnect these two triple squares, and the whole pump should come off. In order to do that, you're gonna need hose clamp pliers, any pliers, even your hands, whatever works. An M10 triple square, you definitely need this to take those two bolts out. A ratchet, an extension, and an 18 mil wrench, any wrench you got to take off that high pressure line down there. I'm gonna take off the fuel lines first because it's gonna spray out fuel, I know it. Even though we took the fuse out and started the car, there's still gonna be some leftover fuel on the lines. Yep, it's ready. Yep, it's working. I would cap off the high pressure line like that, especially if you're trying to keep it as backup. So let me go get some rubber caps to cap that off. There we go, top fuel lines off. Now, install or to connect the high pressure line down below, the one that requires the 18 mil wrench. Be very careful to taking these lines out, because especially when you just drove the car like me, take them out slowly, because if you start hammering through it, you might start spraying fuel all over your engine bay and yourself.
2,000 years later.
So I just got the high pressure fuel pump, the OEM one, off. It was fighting me a little bit because it was getting stuck on the lower fuel line. It was getting stuck on there, but it's off. Now time for the upgraded one. And just like that, pump is in with the AutoTech internals. So installing it is kind of it's the reverse way of taking it out. So on mine, I kind of crooked the high pressure fuel line counterclockwise a little bit, including the high pressure line down there. Getting that in first is key. Once you get that in, or kind of like once that line is inside that like brass fitting right there, you kind of just have to cock the high pressure line that way, so clockwise. And then once you get that in, I start putting the bolts in, plug the connector in, put this line back on, and we are just about to be ready to get started. I just need some little bits and bobs cleaned up, put the fuse back on, prime the system a little bit by cycling the car on and off about, I don't know, 2 or 3 times just to get the fuel through the lines again, because you just took it out and drained it all. And then we are just about to ready to dump that guy into the tank and fill it up with 91, and hoping to get as close to E70, because according to my tuner, integrated engineering, E70 for these cars are the sweet spot. So that's the most horsepower gained. So right now I just got the charger hooked up to the car because we are about to flash the flex fuel tune from IE. I'm just waiting for the Flash Wizard to update. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it's updating. It's all plugged into the car right now. And yeah, after this, I gotta go clear codes, because when I took the fuel pump fuse out, it triggered the check engine light because the fuel pump isn't sending any fuel to the lines, and the car recognized that and it threw the check engine light. So I need to go clear that and check for leaks, since we just took out some fuel lines out. You gotta go check if there's any fuel leaking, because fuel leaking into your engine bay is never really a good thing, because things are hot, or they always will be hot because you're driving the car, and that could cause fires. So checking for leaks is definitely an important thing. So after that, we will dump the E in there and fill it up with 91. Okay, so I just dumped all of the E85, the VP Racing X85 gas into the tank, all of it, all 5 gallons. So right now I'm just waiting for the, I believe it's that feature IE has where your RPM gauge can tell you your ethanol content. It makes it easier for you as the user and consumer to tell what your ethanol content is. But right now I'm waiting for that, and I have VCDS to clarify that the stage 2 tune with high pressure fuel pump TrueFlex tune, it got downloaded, because I downloaded that first. So now I'm downloading the, it has to be just that feature to allow the car to tell me what the ethanol content is. So I'm just gonna verify it, because if I can see the ethanol content with the VCDS, then it means the tune is still in the car. So, because I didn't really know what the order is supposed to be. I don't know if you're supposed to download the real stage 2 TrueFlex tune first, or this feature tune thing first. So just to clarify, and it's kind of cool to see it too also. So yeah, because on this car that I'm working on, this Audi A4, I can see the ethanol content on it with the VCDS, but if I plug in the VCDS to my car before, I couldn't see the ethanol content because it's not really tuned for it. But the sensors are giving signals to the ECM, but the ECM is kind of just like ignoring it because it's not necessarily needed, but now it's kind of needed since on the tune. So right now, let's see where we're at on the percentage on the tune. After all tunes, they say to turn it on and off, so we're gonna do that.
X band, K band,
Okay.
KA band.
And then you're supposed to start it. So give me a second. Right now I just have the VCDS hooked up to the computer and to the car. Now to check if I have the ethanol content reading. Mode 1, read data. And I should have it here. Fuel rail, fuel level. Yep, right there. Alcohol percentage in fuel. Let's see where we're at. We are E17 right now because the ethanol needs to run through the lines because I barely just dumped it in there, so it'll probably take, I don't know, 5 minutes car idling for the percentage to start to go up. So we'll see what our highest percentage is. It's gonna be high for sure because right now before I dumped the E85 in there, it was a quarter tank, and now it's at 3/4, 3/4 of the tank now because of the E, and I'm gonna fill it up with 91. So the ethanol content is gonna go down a little bit, slightly. So I also need to clear the check engine light because of the fuel pump fuse earlier. I needed to unplug it to clear the fuel lines so it doesn't spray fuel when I disconnected those lines earlier. And yeah, and I believe that's it for this video. The next video is going to be some reviews, some honest reviews. I'm not sponsored with AutoTech. I'm not sponsored with IE. It would be nice if I were sponsored by them, but I'm not. I bought all these parts, my own money, no sponsored, no discounts, no. So I'm gonna give you guys an honest review on the next video of their ethanol stage 2 with high pressure fuel pump, and I'll see you guys later.